Good morning, everyone. This week in Cincinnati, the city's mayor, John Cranley. 2017 is beginning with plenty of challenges for the city: economic development, the heroin epidemic, the streetcar, a new GOP administration in Washington, and a changed Hamilton County Commission, just to name a few. Those challenges will be faced in the context of an election year for the mayor. Two people have formally declared they want Mayor Cranley's job: Councilmember Yvette Simpson and former UC Board of Trustees Chairman Rob Richardson Jr. And more candidates could step forward. So joining us now to talk about all of this is Mayor John Cranley. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming in.
Great to be here, Tanya.
And also joining me for this segment are WCPO political reporters Amanda Seitz and Paula Christian. Ladies, thanks so much.
Thank you.
So let's start this with what has bubbled up over the last couple of weeks, the firing and then the settlement with former police chief Jeffrey Blackwell. You faced plenty of criticism, as did your administration, over the last couple of weeks. What do you take away from this? What do you learn?
What I take away from it is that you can't play politics with safety. The fact is that under Chief Blackwell's leadership, we had a low morale, crime was rising, we had a lot of shootings, and he was abusing his subordinates. And the city manager, in a decision that I totally support, made the right decision a year and a half ago to fire him and to bring in Chief Isaac. Since Chief Isaac has taken over, crime is down, morale is up. And I don't care about the political consequences. We're making the city safer, and that is our #1 job in this city, and I will continue to do it, and we will never play politics with the safety of the city.
You said abusing subordinates. Can you be more specific about that?
Yeah, when he was fired, the city manager issued a public memo that's available to all, I think on the city website or wherever, and it documents from multiple employees the way they were mistreated by him in a manner that would be described as emotional abuse.
Do you feel, though, since his firing, that you have a bit of a problem or a disconnect a little bit with, there's been fallout just a bit with the African-American community in Cincinnati?
Oh, I don't believe so. We are very proud to be a mayor and administration for all people in the city. And we have made major progress on crime and jobs and investing in neighborhoods that are on all corners of the city, including African-American neighborhoods. One point of many, our commitment to civil rights. You know, I helped organize the collaborative agreement when I was a member of city council. Now we're updating it. We have the best police community relations in the country, thanks to Chief Isaac. In addition, when I was elected, only 2% of city contracts went to African-American businesses. In my administration, we've made that a priority. It's now 22%. We went from $4 million to $45 million investing directly with African-American businesses. We announced a major partnership between church leaders and community council leaders in Bond Hill and Roselawn. We're building a health clinic and a grocery store in Avondale. We have new investments in Evanston. But on top of all of that, which are historically African-American neighborhoods, on top of all that, we're providing basic services to all neighborhoods. Before I was elected, the focus was on the streetcar, and neighborhoods suffered. The roads weren't getting paved. The basic services weren't being invested equally. And we are now paving roads in Avondale as well as Price Hill as well as Hyde Park. And people are noticing that we're not playing favorites, but we're providing basic services to the entire city. So we feel very good about our record for all Cincinnati voters.
So can we shift to the election?
Sure.
So you have two Democrats that are running against you. Just in a nutshell, could you explain the difference between yourself and your two Democratic opponents?
Sure. You know, my record, obviously. Well, let me back up even more than that. Let me tell you a little bit about who I am. You know, I grew up in Price Hill, proud product of Catholic school, St. Xavier High School. Got a commitment young to want to get involved in public service. Went on to John Carroll, Harvard Law School, Harvard Divinity School, and I've basically devoted most of my career to public service since I've been back in town. What a lot of people may not know is that I started the Ohio Innocence Project at UC Law School, which uses DNA evidence to help people get out of prison who were wrongfully convicted. Over 24 people have been exonerated by that project. And commitment to public service, starting a nonprofit like that, righting injustices, righting wrongs like that is what inspires me. My wife, Dina, and I are proud parents of a 7-year-old son that we're raising, and my wife's the daughter of immigrants, an American dream story. And so we're very proud parents and want to leave this community better than it was given to us, and it was given to us as a pretty nice place. I want the people of Cincinnati to understand that this has been an intentional career path for me to try to give back to the city that's giving so much to us. I also had a nice practice at Keating, Muthing, and Clecamp in addition to serving on city council for 8 years. So that's who I am. I've lived on the east side, I've lived on the west side. We're Cincinnati through and through, and we work hard every day, my wife and I, to make this city a better place. So that's who I am. You know, our record has been 7,000 jobs during our tenure, a 5% reduction in child poverty. We have reduced the crime under the leadership of Chief Isaac. We've made historic investments in neighborhoods, whether it's the Wasson Way Bike Trail on the east side, or whether it's Westwood Square in Westwood, or whether it's Hamilton and North Bend and College Hill. We're trying to take the renaissance of downtown over the Rhine to the neighborhoods. My opponents are focused on good people, great life stories, but their priorities are wrong, I think, for the future of the city. Their values are not, I think, consistent with what the voters want. They clearly want to spend more money on the streetcar, which, because money doesn't grow on trees, choices have to be made. And so that means paving less roads. It means less basic services for neighborhoods. It means not being able to take the renaissance of downtown over the Rhine to other neighborhoods. So those are just honest differences of opinion on the issues. And I'm trust that the voters will make that choice. And I'm comfortable with whatever choice they make. I would also point out that Yvette Simpson in particular was part of the administration, the working majority of the previous administration, that led to record deficits, that led to a downgrading of our credit, that didn't deal with the unfunded pension crisis. I'm proud to say that under my leadership, we've solved the pension crisis, we've balanced the budget, and we recently got an upgrade from S&P and Moody's. So I think it would be a mistake to go back to those fiscally irresponsible days. And I'm hoping that these are the issues we'll talk about during the campaign.
Can you talk a little bit about what differences you expect to see in the city now that the Hamilton County Commission is controlled by Democrats?
Oh, I think it's going to be a new day of cooperation and collaboration. I was proud to be at the swearing in of Denise Treehouse yesterday as county commissioner, who is a close personal friend and is going to be a great county commissioner. We've already started talking about solving the long-standing tensions between the city and the county related to MSD, the sewer district.
What's the biggest difference, do you think, that between the dialogue that you'll see between the city and the county on that issue in particular?
I'm cautiously optimistic that we are going to find a compromise to stop the fighting and the bickering between the city and the county and MSD and find a way forward. As you may know, 1968, there was an agreement that was signed for 50 years. That agreement is coming to an end very soon. Mm-hmm. And so we have to find a way forward. And the ratepayers don't want to see territorial fighting. They want to find sewers that fix.
I'm going to leave that conversation here for just this moment. And as we mentioned, Mayor Cranley has 2 declared opponents for the mayor's office. We're going to make similar offers to them to appear on This Week in Cincinnati. And coming up next on This Week in Cincinnati, poverty in the city. We're going to talk with Mayor Cranley about the groups working to help families and what still needs to be done.